Right, welcome back, guys. Tonight, it's a bit of a special tonight. We are here at Ipswich Town Football Club to get involved with the women's team, basically, to give it a bit of a plug so you know what's going on. But more about that in a minute. This is the 12th man. I'm joined by Mark and Tom. Boys, how are you feeling after the weekend? Good?
Bloody buzzing, boy.
Yeah, good. Obviously, things that are going on today sort of soured that a little bit. We don't really know if that 5-0 is going to stand, but you know, we did what we had to do, go up there and got the 5-0, and you know, sent us home happy on our journey home as well.
So we'll get onto that in a minute, but we'll get onto a few of the headlines first. So obviously this morning, Mark Murphy. Oh yeah, sorry, it's Tuesday today. This is pre-recorded, so tomorrow's Wednesday. That's when the video's coming out. So sorry, just to bring you up to date. But this morning, Kevin Beattie's statue appeal came to an end. £110,000 raised for the statue. I mean, it's been 8 months, but it's been completely done by fans. You know, minimal support from Marcus Evans, but they've finally got the statue up and running. How do you feel about that?
Great effort by everyone, really, for an absolute legend of the club. I mean, I didn't see him as a player myself, but you hear quite a lot, don't you, about how great of a player he was. And
yeah, we've got Joe Sheehan here, Ipswich women's manager. Come in, mate, for a sec. Joe, how are you feeling, mate, after that 6-0 battering at the weekend?
Yeah, all right. Yeah. I mean, had results like that before over my coaching career, so yeah, you know, I'm not too fussed. Never too excitable when we have scores like that, and never too deflated when we get beaten by scores like that. So.
But you'll get past that, won't you?
Of course, yeah. You know, it was as I said, it was a time when we could rotate things a little bit and see where some of our players are at. And ultimately, as a scoreline has proved that we're not where we need to be yet with the squad that we use. So we'll have to change things up.
We got Kent Football Club this weekend, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Fairly new to our division, so don't know too much about them. But we've got to pick up a win going into next Wednesday's game. So we'll be looking to do that Sunday.
Well, let the fans know about next Wednesday. What's happening next Wednesday?
We are playing Norwich.
Yeah, the scum.
In a game that we didn't pick up anything from last year, I don't believe. So we need to start getting positive results against Norwich. So we'll be certainly looking to do that next Wednesday. And
it's good that we get the crowd behind us, really, because I went last year. Really good game. We lost 1-0, but we're all over them, and we deserve to walk away with at least a point. How we didn't get 3, I don't know, but you know, we've got to beat Norwich. Got to beat them some point. Men can't do it, so let's go to the women's team now.
Yeah, it's a big game for us, not only for us to get some points on the board for where we want to finish this year, but also because of obviously the rivalry. And I'm really looking forward to it, and I think there has been quite a good crowd attended those games previously, and I think it will be even bigger next Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely.
So looking forward to it.
Oh, brilliant. I hope you're going all right, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll speak to you in a bit. Cheers. So boys, back onto the statue appeal. Obviously, like I said, it was run by the fans, you know, for a player that's conceived to be one of the biggest players of this club. Greatest ever player this club's seen. Obviously the family had struggles getting the money to, you know, we wouldn't expect them to put money together for their own statue, but the fans have pulled together and got this 110,000. It's a massive feat, isn't it, Mark?
It's huge, and you know, I think it speaks volumes about how much you're still spoken about as a player today. You know, even for us as a younger generation, we still know how much the Beat was sort of the heartbeat, pardon the pun, of our club, really. But you know, it's huge, and it's great to see that we finally got this over the line, and that's a third legend to go with a statue up at Portman Road, really. So
and I believe that's supposed to be right over the road from Sir Ralph, so be a little bit of a statue tour, won't it, for anyone who is actually coming to the club and see all of them statues. And I mean, wherever you go, if you go around these clubs around the country, you see commemorative statues, and Sean Hedges-Quinn is the best statue creator in the whole country, if you ask me. If you look at some of his work, he worked on Bobby and Alf, and you can just see how good his work is. So to have that of Kevin Beatt and the way that it's, you know, depicted as well would just be brilliant for the club. But apart from that, I'm happy, you know, as a fan we get to see things like that. But boys, moving on to something a bit different. I know we get the stuff out of the way first before we get into the real grime of the 12th man. But Town linked with Aberdeen winger Scott Wright. Do we need another winger, boys?
I'd say no. I mean, because you've got players like Lancaster and Sears, who obviously has been played as wide man last couple of years, to come back. So I mean, with the likes of Judge being used as a winger, obviously people see him more as number 10, but as he's been used as a winger, Edwards, Rowe, and then the 2 coming back, I'd say no. Is there any need to spend any money on anyone else?
No.
When it's very limited as it is?
Yeah.
I'd say no.
Well, Lambert said that we're probably still looking to bring in some more players. Whether or not that's a winger, we don't know. But what we will say is, where do we need strengthening, in your opinion, Mark?
I think we're all right now. We've got the Cypriot Di Maria. We don't need another winger.
I forgot about him. Yeah.
We had so many selection headaches last year, and obviously at times it was because there was a lack of experience or a lack of quality.
Yeah.
Now we've dropped down a division. We've got, I'd say, unquestionably the best squad in the division. There's no point keep on adding to it, especially when we've gone unbeaten in our first 5 games with so many players out injured. It's literally, we run on a tight budget as it is. That we might as well save that budget for when we actually need it. Reassess in January. If we need someone then get someone in.
Well, some would say they'd hate to be Paul Lambert at come October time when everyone's back fit. You may pick up injuries during that process, but the players he's got to pick from when they do come back. Jesus,
how difficult is it going to be for him to keep everyone happy?
It's going to be very difficult.
Let's hope we go on a long run this Leeson.com trophy then.
Well, this is the thing. You say that we've got 3 games in Leeson.
Serious.
Yeah, Leeson.com trophy where those other players can get game time, and it would be good for them to get game time in other competitions other than the league, because they need to show what they can do.
I think we've got to credit where it's due. We've had a lot of stick for some of the free agents we've had come in. He's been highlighted recently, but James Wilson's come in and he's been tremendous. He's not put a foot wrong, and that he was just a free agent who got ridiculed for coming in. We were like, why are we getting this sort of player? It speaks volumes about what Lambert sees.
But this is a player who's won promotion from League 2 and League 1, very, very experienced, and that was going to be my next point, to be fair. The selection dilemma I see being a problem is centre-back. When you get Enciala back, and you get you've got Wolfenden in there, he's playing really well, you've got Chambers and Wilson, who's undoubtedly come in and he's won 3 league games out of the 3 he's played, despite he's played in the Cup, but we lost that game because we wanted to, in my opinion. But you can't possibly take him out of the squad. But on Saturday he's got a real problem in my opinion. Who does he play? Chambers or Wolfenden?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if it's out of Chambers and Wolfenden, it's Wolfenden all day.
I don't know. Like I said, he's the captain. He's the one that brings in momentum into the squad. He brings a lot of things to the squad. He didn't put a foot wrong on Saturday.
Would he drop Wilson? This is the thing.
I mean,
Wilson has been the most consistent, faultless centre half with Luke Wolfenden.
Yeah.
In my eyes, but what I have with Toto coming back is Wolfenden going to benefit from playing with Toto? Because I think he plays better with a experienced centre half who can talk him through the game.
Toto Enciala is undoubtedly probably one of our hottest properties at centre back.
He's number 1 centre half for me.
So he needs to be playing because he's hot property for us. If he was to do well, you'd envisage him moving on as well as Wolfenden.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Don't you say that?
Don't say that about Toto moving on. I can't have that. It's got to stay.
You've got to be realistic about how clubs evolve and how players move on in time. But you look
at that. I mean, if we're talking about players moving on, you look at the clubs that have been linked with some of our players. 5 years ago, you'd have laughed at clubs like Millwall taking our hottest assets and people like Blackburn taking our hottest assets. You laughed at that. People got to realise we're a League 1 club at this point in time, exactly. And it's easy for these higher level clubs to come along and take our players away.
Yeah, you're right. In terms of how Town are getting on, the girls are getting put through their paces at the moment. Only a few of them out there tonight. Obviously, a bit lethargic from Saturday's trip down to Southampton. But if we talk about Town and how well we've got on at the start of the season, what's the general feeling about us at the top of the league at the moment? Do you think it's a borrowed title after Saturday's game? Let's not dwell too much into Bolton's point of view at the moment, but let's talk about us. Come Bolton's demise, if that was to happen, we still don't know the future of the club. I mean, we surpassed 5 p.m. today. We're no wiser as to what's going on. But if those points were to be rescinded, then we'd be no better off, would we?
I mean, everyone else can have 2 weeks off then, aren't they? I mean, so then we've got games where the likes of Sunderland, Blackpool and those ones at the top are going to miss out on game weeks when we can obviously catch them up if we are behind them, which I can't see. But I feel like so far, being top of the league, you can't ask any more, can you, in the league, than obviously where we are. But I still think we haven't hit our top level. I still think we're in second, third gear.
Probably. Yeah.
I wouldn't even say we're anywhere near the best we can be.
I don't think we started, and I know we mentioned that.
And I'd be scared.
Previously.
I'd be scared if I was half these teams. Having to come to Portman Road, us in full gear, you get blown away.
Like we said, with fitness, with players coming back in, it's going to be really difficult for some teams to actually pick up any points at Portman Road, I would say. And that's not even being cocky. I firmly believe Ipswich Town have enough in their squad to absolutely dominate League One. And I haven't said that about anyone. I've followed League One. Just as League One, Championship, Premier League is probably my my circle, but I wouldn't go any further than League One. But I will say, for once, Ipswich Town probably the best prepared team for League One football that the country's seen in the last 10 years. Quite easy. Yeah,
it speaks volumes when you've got the quality of Emir Hughes, who's he's can't even get a kick. He came on to play, was it half an hour?
20 odd minutes.
He's not even getting in the team, and I can envision it when, like you say, when the players are fit. It's going to be a struggle to get on the bench, let alone in the first team. There's so much quality to give, and it's just we just got to keep a level head and keep doing what we're doing at the minute. As much as we're not playing probably to, like we've been saying, to our best abilities, you don't want to be playing that in August because you're going to get found out. We're not getting found out, but we're still getting results.
Consistent results as well.
One player who's been picked up on is not hitting top form just yet is James Norwood. He's still scored 4 goals. And he's, we all saw on Saturday, he could have had probably 2 hat-tricks, let alone
quite easily.
That's scary to still see that come as well. Jackson's now slowly sort of getting off the mark as well. Guion was back on Saturday as well, so it is scary. And I think if we do lose this result, they've got to give the other teams in the league a chance, haven't they? That's the only reason they're going to get rid of that result, I think. So we're going to run away with it otherwise.
No, I don't think Mark's wrong. I don't think he's wrong, and that's not my point of view as an Ipswich fan. Tell me a team that comes close to us or has been prepared like we have. I know people don't see that, but during that relegation last year, we were preparing for League One 6 months before it happened. We knew we were down. As fans, I knew we were down in November.
After Bristol City game.
After Bristol City at home.
That was the one that took it away from you.
As a manager, I think Paul Lambert knew when he came in it was going to be hard to get the team up. He said previously that when he went down, he had a team of Championship players. By the time we got relegated, I would agree that we had a team of Championship players. We're coming to this league. There's a few players that need to prove themselves, and I'd say that's the youngsters, not the professionals. But I think we're shoe-in, and August has been good. It's been very good to us. So cap it off with a win against Shrewsbury on Saturday.
But tell me, who has actually got a better squad? Overall, a better squad, strength and depth than us? No one. No one comes close.
I couldn't even say.
People like Sunderland on Pompey.
Pompey have had to sell in the summer to compete.
They've lost their 2 best players.
Lost their 2 best players.
Jamal Lowe's gone and Matt Clark's gone.
Exactly.
Matt Clark's gone to Brighton and loaned out to Derby. Jamal Lowe's gone to Wigan. Come on. I mean, Wigan are not a powerhouse. Wigan have spent a lot of money this summer. Whether they're going for it or not, probably evident that they are trying to go for a promotion push. But realistically, are they going to get promoted to the Premier League? It's a big ask. But Wigan spent, a majority of the last 10 years in the Premier League. They've got money to use. But they're not. Pompey have got players that can perform. We know they've got players like Brett Pittman.
He's passed. The bloke's passed.
He was passing when he was at Ipswich Town.
Yeah, 100%. If you look at him at Bournemouth and him at our club, wasn't even the same player.
No.
You could argue the 2 styles of football maybe had something to do with that, because obviously Bournemouth were very free-flowing and still are very free-flowing in the way they play. And we were one-touch lump it to Darryl Murphy, weren't we? So the 2 contrasts was one polar opposite to the other, really. So we mostly didn't suit Brett Pittman's game. And to be fair, first year at Pompey, he done all right, didn't he? Scored quite a few goals, quite a lot of assists, but he's not in first choice now, is he?
No.
I think going back on something that you just said, like the youngsters were the ones who got to prove themselves. There's 2 I can think of straight off the back of my head is Flynn Downs and Luke Wolfton, who have not missed a beat. They've come straight in and they look out of place, which is only benefiting the squad that we've got.
Probably say they look like top performers in League One.
That only adds to what we've already got. And like we've been saying, Portsmouth had to sell 2 of their best players. Sunderland's previous season is going to take a toll on them this year. I feel, McGeady's a year older, Maguire's a year older, Grigg is under a lot of pressure. There's been a lot of players go out. Oviedo, Catamol, Honeyman, the captain, and then you look beyond that.
Yeah, I mean they lost their captain and vice captain this summer.
And you look beyond that, it's a lot of teams that are relying on one player to turn up for them. Whereas with us, as much as there's been a lot of build up to James Norwood and a lot of pressure on him, I can see goals across the pitch in other areas. Edwards, this is his first league game back, scored already. Take away opposition, whatever you want to do, but he was in the positions. Jackson's scored 3 in 2 games, and then we've got Nolan to come back. There's still so many players who can add to this team who aren't available. Yeah, it is a scary proposition.
I think it's really easy for us to stand here and say that Sunderland and Portsmouth are our division rivals. So they're the teams that are going to perform.
I think, add on to that, I think Blackpool as well.
Yes, so this is where I was going with this. Yeah. Early season form does tell a lot about a team, but Blackpool have been a surprise package for me. And I'd say Fleetwood are up there as well. Yeah. And Burton Albion's actual early form has been quite good since their opening day loss to us. But teams like that are performing consistently. Did they? No, they didn't. They didn't play bad at all. Come in, Kieran, mate.
Go on, get in the middle.
How you doing?
Yeah, sorry, just quickly here, we've got Kieran Stanley, he's obviously media manager.
Hello.
For the Ipswich Women's. Mate, tell us about next Wednesday. Firstly, obviously we've got a game Sunday coming up, but Wednesday's really the big one for us at home.
It's enormous, any Ipswich fan watching this video is going to know about the East Anglian derby, and whether that's men's first team, under 23s, under 18s, or women's, it's a massive game for whatever team's facing it. So it's massive for us. Results didn't go our way in those derbies last year, but they're going to go our way this year.
Yeah,
I'm going to.
I like your confidence.
Oh, absolutely. We're the best team in East Anglia.
Yeah. That was a bite there.
I'm happy to put my neck on the line on that. We're the best team in East Anglia. We've got a chip on our shoulder in terms of what happened with the derbies last year. I think they'll be expecting a little bit of a wrath from last year. But we've got to go into it aiming for that redemption from last year. Obviously not lose sight of why we're going into the game, because it is just a league game worth 3 points, but it means so much more than that, and we just hope to see a big crowd down there getting behind the girls, because that fan involvement and that atmosphere can make a huge difference on a match day.
So we're hoping for 500 plus next Wednesday night. The team are going for a promotion. We've got a mixture of under 21s and first team players. A lot of them play international football. How important is it? Pep's trying to get you going.
Let's get him in.
Trying to get a rise.
He's
trying to get a rise. Come on, boy, get in here.
The hair's fine, mate.
Yeah, it's not that good.
It's Kieran.
Right, come in. What's going on then? Are the girls ready for next Wednesday?
Physically?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
We've had a tough pre-season, put them through their paces. Joe and I have sat down with everyone and given their targets. Hopefully that'll transpire onto the football pitch.
Yeah. Are we all in the camera? Yeah. Just so come move over a bit, boys. I can't see my hairline in this. Hold on. No. It's important. Obviously, Sunday we've got a game on Sunday. Weekend, midweek. How do you manage that as a squad?
Rotation.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a slightly different side that played this Sunday just gone in the cup. And it just comes down to collaboration with the staff, really, and knowing the players and knowing what they're capable of, and hopefully, as I say, they've all done really well pre-season, so we should be able to manage it pretty well. Managing expectations is a big one, obviously, and the squad can be big some weeks and it could be small other weeks, obviously, compared to where players live and that they've got to travel, make their own arrangements to get here. It can be hard to have the same amount of players each week to train with, but what's important is that you get a good squad morale going into the game this weekend, and then obviously the big one next Wednesday. Yeah, they know what's expected. I think Kieran's kind of summed it up already. It is just a league game, but being the team they're playing, it might mean a bit more on the pitch.
That's an understatement.
This is a big game. It doesn't matter whether, like I say, it doesn't matter what platform you're on. Ipswich Norwich is a big derby.
I think you could even take that out of football. If Ipswich play Norwich at cricket, basketball, American football, rugby, whatever, there's always a rivalry, and you want to win the game. And especially if we want to get a big crowd come down to Felixstowe, we don't want to disappoint that crowd. We want to put smiles on faces and make people go away and think, you know what, I really enjoyed enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So there is a little bit of pressure on us in that regard, but we're ready for it.
Yeah.
And we want to make up for what we did last year, and ultimately we're on a massive journey to building up Ipswich Town as a women's football club, and getting a result against Norwich in front of a big crowd is a massive factor.
And if we're all supporters of Ipswich Town, we want to see them do well on any platform, and that's agreed. But anyway, for details for the game, it's obviously 7:45 Wednesday the 4th of September at the Goldstar ground, Felixstowe. £3 for adults. Is it under 17,
Under
16?
free. £1 concessions, and Ipswich Town season ticket holders get in for free.
Exactly.
So there are a lot of season ticket holders. Come down, get behind the girls. The atmosphere at Portman Road in the last few weeks has been absolutely unbelievable. Even going back to last season, the fans have been sensational getting behind the team. If even a small percentage of those fans can come down to Felixstowe on Wednesday night and make their presence felt, don their blue shirts. With pride and sing songs, get behind the girls just like they would do at an away game or at Portman Road. That would be amazing, and that will give the girls a massive boost, and hopefully we can send them home happy.
Definitely, 100% agree. Boys, cheers for that, and good luck for next Wednesday. All right.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Speak to you in a bit. Cheers.
Guys.
Boys, obviously, we started the season pretty well, but what would be your August highlights?
August highlights. Number one's got to be Wimbledon at home. Honestly, I can't take my smile off my face thinking of that. I literally cannot.
I'm literally smiling, and you didn't even.
I am literally. Mark said he's 70% buzzed last week. I'm still 99% buzzed now about it. I can still picture Caden Jackson putting that ball in that net. And it's just carnage. It's literally carnage.
I'll do us a favour. I'll just replay the goal now. And literally from that, you can just see it literally comes down, ball comes down, everyone's like, go on. And then it falls to him, he's like, go on. And the next one's, yeah.
Everything just goes quiet for that half a second. And it's just, I just can't explain the feeling you have. It's absolutely mental.
It's incredible, isn't it?
That's what football's about. That's why you support your home team.
We don't really want that every week, do we? We don't want to be losing to.
I won't be here come end of October if we're having that every week.
I actually had chest pains after that game, and that's not even a lie.
But at the end of the day, that's why we support our home team, yeah? That's why we love our home club. We don't want to watch that crap on Sky Sports,
Definitely.
You're the ones that are killing football. They really are. They're the ones that are killing football. I'm doing you there, but they are.
In different terms. Obviously, Wimbledon was one highlight, but what was another one that you would say catches your mind when you think to it?
I think just in general that it's so hard to pick one because the season has been such a fresh feeling for everyone at the club. It feels like the restart button has been hit. Where everyone's behind the team. Some of these away days we've been on 3 so far, and they've all felt fantastic. The first one, obviously everyone was happy going to Burton. I honestly can't pick one. Wimbledon is obviously the obvious one that stands out. But as you can see with Whitby getting his top off every time, it's just a feel-good factor all round, really.
Keep winning, that stays off.
Let's look in more detail then to Bolton. I've got my notes here. Hold on, I can't remember without my notes. But let's take what we don't shake your head. I can't remember what happened at Bolton. Oh yeah, we won 5-0. But that's not something we can really brag about.
I've never ever come out of a game winning 5-0 being so disappointed and just down.
All right, many people probably won't understand what we're talking about now, but to put it in perspective, we spent 6.5 hours driving up to Bolton on Saturday.
It was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare to get there. We got there 2 hours to spare. The pub was dead. There was nobody in there, and this is a pub the closest to the ground. There was the usual fans in there, the guys that travel every week, the diehards, the absolute diehards. And you go in there and you're expecting, we're going to have a good game today. Everyone was happy, everyone kind of knew that we were going to get a result deep down. We get into the stadium is brassic, absolutely brassic. There's nobody in there, absolutely nobody in there. And to supplement that, the 790, whatever it was, travelling fans,
it's disgraceful.
all sat down the entire game. And for me, as a fan, I've been to every game this season so far, even pre-season, and that was worse than a pre-season friendly.
Yeah. I mean, it's just disappointing. I mean, there was 7 or 8 of us at the back trying to get an atmosphere going, and everyone sat there clapping their hands. Literally, if I was a player, I wouldn't want to play for those fans. No. There's no motivation there at all. No. There's nothing there. Literally, get on your feet, get behind the team, and we could have went and smashed them for 10.
We need to be like we said. We're going for promotion.
There needs to be a roar. As soon as they come on the pitch, that roar needs to be heard by everyone in the country.
This is a club that's been prided on their fans for the last year or so. Yep. That game there is just absolutely penalised all efforts that have been done. It was embarrassing, and if you've seen it with your own eyes, you'd believe it. And that's not me mocking the fans, right? Everyone who went there on Saturday, I take my hat off to you, because you've travelled up there, you've spent your time to go there, and I understand it was Brassic because of the situation that Bolton are going through, and we'll get on to that in a minute. But there were some positives. We saw Kane Vincent-Young for the first time, and he really does look 10 times better than what we've had in recent years.
Yeah, certified baller, as I said. But no, that kid he's something else. He is. I love him already. It's been one game, regardless of who it is against. I've seen so much more than him from Donacien, whatever his name is. No one can get it right. But he's going to be one hell of a player for us. And I think, like you said, the sad thing about it was the atmosphere, and the circumstances weren't ideal. But we've got to go out there and judge it on our own merits. It's our team. We're supporting them. In the matchday vlog, I think you can hear our conversations more than chance. That's not how it should be. No. Or me shouting Cypriot, Di Maria or Wilson. That's all we can hear.
Basically, me eating my pie in the first minute made more noise than half of them.
Yeah. No, it is sad, and like I said, I'm not disrespecting anyone who went up there.
No, not at all.
But as a collective, we could have done better, and we could have supported our side, and we probably would have won more than 5. But what I'm saying now is that, regardless of the result, I've walked away from there disappointed, not only for us but for Bolton Wanderers. And obviously,
that's the main thing.
Deadline's gone today. Are they going to be a club come tomorrow? What are we thinking?
It's, if you go by what the EFL said, no. But as a football fan, you don't want to see anyone go. You really don't. I mean, especially 2 founder members of the Football League who have got so much history in the FA Cup, winning league titles. People don't even know that Bolton and Bury have won league titles or FA Cups.
Or FA Cups. No one would know that Bury's 2-time FA Cup winner, would they?
Exactly.
They wouldn't know.
They've won it more than us.
Yeah.
They've literally won it more than us.
We think we're a big side. Bury and Bolton, undoubted history that not many of you are aware of, and it's just really sad to see anyone in that shape.
The worst thing is what they're taking away from the fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, no one can take away those memories. No one can take away the memories of promotion, relegation, etc.
I'll put it as simple as this, right?
If this is our club, if that was our club, I would be in tears.
I would literally. It's like losing somebody. It's like if you lost your dog or your cat, God forbid, and you lost a family member, you lose your club. Honestly, I'd be mourning. I would be mourning. That's the kind of thing, and people could be signed off work for that because there's a hole in their heart.
I can't imagine how it would feel to lose Ipswich.
No.
And I don't care that we're in League One because I'm having the time of my life this season already, and that's just because we have our club and we've got a united fan base behind our club. I can't imagine what them fans are going through, because it's unthinkable. It's unthinkable to have. We've been close to that in the past, but nowhere near the levels where they are. It's such a sad. And I honestly, we don't know what's going on as we speak here, but I honestly hope they both can get through it. Even for the sake of it, that they go down to League 2 next year and start fresh. It doesn't matter. You say about trophies or anything. There's memories for every fan, and it can be the biggest thing or the smallest thing, but the one thing that's common is the club, and if they lose that club, their memory's gone forever.
What happens for these clubs if they are liquidated? They're not the same image as what they had before. You'd say fans would restart in their thousands. I mean, Bolton had 4,000 there on Saturday, and you'd argue they've got another 24,000 at home
comfortably.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And Bury are the same, very, very popular team. I know that, and they're neighbours as well. This is the thing. Don't take it away from them. Could these two great sides come together and form their own club, a club for the people.
You never know, but I mean, the main people that you've got to look at are the EFL. The EFL are an absolute joke. I mean, there can't be anything to fit and proper test. There can't be. Because Steve Dale, how many businesses he let down? 20 businesses that went under. How the fuck can someone literally go and take over a club like that? It's a joke. It's an utter joke. And the problem is, if he sells it on, he's going to sell it on to another con man for £1, and etc, etc, etc. You're basically just stopping the inevitable from happening.
We need to look at this from another point of view as well. It's easy to look at it at a fan's point of view. What we need to look at it is from a league point of view as well. Do I think the league have let the clubs down? Yes. Do I think that the owners have let the fans and the club down? Yes. Who do I think's more to blame? The owners, in my opinion.
It is the owners' fault.
But I do think the league have let this become a laughingstock, and what it has become is what we've seen today, a countdown timer on Sky Sports. Yeah, it's been made a mockery, and media outlets are making money out of it, and it's just not right. These fans, it's their like we said, it's their livelihood. You take, like, we're standing here probably one of the finest training centres, if not the finest training centre in the whole of East Anglia, and you know, even not being here tonight, like, I love being here right now, like just seeing the badge whilst I'm talking about football. Yeah, it feels like home. What, you know, we've got a great training facility, and if this club was to die, that would kill me. Do you know what I mean? That would kill me as a person. Like, I spend a good 75% of my week Ipswich Town. The other 25% is on work and my daughter. You know, but and at Unit 17. But
only since he's been with me, that is.
But in terms of how they move forward, I just don't know. I just don't. I'm stumped. I'm stumped.
I don't think anyone knows the answer. That's the sad thing. Nobody really knows what is going to happen. You just hope and pray that they can pull through. Selfishly on our part, you know, we don't want to lose that result. No. But it's not about that. No. Ultimately, the
result means nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. You know, we all would love that 5-0 to stay, but you know, I'd rather see Bolton in the league and see them down in 2020 down at Portman Road in, you know, 2,000 plus fans down at Portman Road, giving it their all.
Are we losing anything though? We're not really losing anything. I mean, no one else is really. Wickham are going to lose points. Tranmere are going to lose their only win of the season. Coventry are going to gain 2 points on us because obviously they're not going to gain 2 points. No, but
that would take away a loss, won't it? Essentially,
will.
Well, a draw, won't it?
Yeah.
I want to ask one question though, and I think it's become more evident today. I think it's a question that'll be asked in the future, in hindsight. But is the collapse of clubs like Bury and Bolton, huge clubs in domestic football in this country, is it down to the money at the top, the upside down pyramid that's happening? And I'm not going to be one of these guys that says, look, these clubs should be helping out, because I don't agree with that. No one will give us a handout, right? No one will give us a handout, and it's hard enough being a club by yourself at the time, I can imagine. But the question is how do you help these clubs? I've heard the ideas of levies, transfer levies, where a certain percentage of transfer fees goes into a league pot to help out the EFL. But these clubs need to be self-sustainable. They can't rely on other teams. Otherwise, you know, when they do get up there, what's going to happen? They're going to get up on borrowed money, borrowed time.
Let's put this in perspective. If you think of our great national team, if there's no league pyramid, where do all our players come from? Where are the likes of Harry Maguire coming up through? Where are the likes of Jordan Pickford, etc.?
Name me 10 England players just off the top of your head right now. Just don't think about it. Just name me 10 England players.
Stones, Kane, Sterling, Lingard, Pickford,
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Oxlade-Chamberlain. Right, so Oxlade-Chamberlain started at Southampton when they were in League One. Okay, Pickford went on loan to Preston, and Bradford came up to Sunderland. Harry Kane spent the first 4 or 5 years of his career Norwich, Millwall, just 2 of the clubs.
I forgive you for that first one, Harry.
yeah, he didn't score for Norwich, so that's all right. Who else did we have there? Sterling was at QPR. QPR, you know, a football league club at the time.
Yeah. John Stones was at Barnsley.
A great club, a great League One club as well. Let's not admit they've gone into the Championship last season, but the majority of the last 10, 15 years they've been in League One.
Joe Hart's a big one coming from the
Joe Hart. Yeah, Shrewsbury. Was he at Notts County as well at one point? or is that just me messing
That was
up?
Kasper Schmeichel, I think.
Yes, it was Kasper Schmeichel, wasn't it? Yeah, but yeah, you name players.
Yeah.
Look at Vardy, for God's sake.
Yeah, literally,
You know,
where are these players going to come from? The FA have got to look at this.
Yeah.
I think, where are these great players going to come from? Who the hell's going to play for the national team? We're basically just going to have a league system of
90% of our national team played football in the lower leagues before they made the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly.
And you couldn't have said that 10, 15 years ago.
It's becoming like Premier League teams are becoming like movies. You know, you're seeing like big names as opposed to, you know, obviously there's some great football being played, but at a huge cost and a huge pomp of media.
Yeah.
You know, I love the Championship, League One, League Two because it's where the true fans are.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not saying there's bad fans at Premier League clubs because there's not. There's good fans at every club, but there's people who will do anything. They'll travel the length and breadth of the country to watch their team get stuffed 5-0,
Yeah.
you know,
And
things
we'll still
like
be
that.
there next week.
And still be there next week, you know.
And I know people, one standing right next to me, who went literally every game last season to see us get pumped.
I didn't miss a game last season and missed one or two the season before that.
And you know, many would call you, you know, absolutely insane, but that's what you do when you're in it. Like, I can't envisage myself missing a game this season.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I can't envisage myself missing. Like, I'd feel like I've lost something if I had.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people going about the Premier League being the best league in the world, you're taking the piss, aren't you?
Yeah.
The football's crap. Literally,
The Premier League is lifeless. It's
literally,
absolutely lifeless.
The Championship and League One are the best two leagues in this world. Arguably, the Championship is the best league in this world. So competitive. You've basically got 24 teams who could win promotion. Where can you say in any other division?
No, you can't.
Literally, Luton could go on a run of 20 wins and they could play off spot.
Don't talk about Luton.
Oh,
Look.
no, but you know what I mean, yeah?
We haven't got a soft spot for Luton.
No,
right?
I haven't got a soft spot for
Don't
Luton
bring up
at all.
Luton. It's bad karma. What I was going to say is, boys, we need to look on anyway. Come to the end of this video, so let's have a look at Shrewsbury. And for all the Shrewsbury fans that are watching this, you know, big game for you this weekend. But let's just have a look at the grand old scheme of things. Are Shrewsbury fans, is it Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury? Let me know in the comments. You know, are they still a bit, you know, jealous about the old Paul Hurst situation? Are they still a bit bitter, a bit salty about that whole thing?
I think so. It's more the circumstances with Toto and John Nolan. You know, if Toto was to leave me, I'd be heartbroken. So, you know, I know how they feel there. You know,
I swear to God, right, Paul Hurst, of all his wrongdoings, and arguably the worst manager this club has ever seen, probably because he didn't get too much of a chance, but his management style was a bit, you know, opaque for us. What I will say is the players he brought in, and I'd argue anyone to the hills, and I said when he was here, his transfers, the ones that he brought in, were very, very good. The only problem was the ones that are going out were better. And that was the problem. Now, we've obviously come into League One now, and you know, half of those players are making up the squad that we're looking at. You've got Gwion Edwards, you've got Nolan, Enciala, Caden Jackson is another one. Ellis Harrison obviously moved on, but he wasn't a Paul Lambert player.
No, and he's gone on to, you know, he's doing all right at Portsmouth. You know, it's you can see there was potential in them players. It was just the completely wrong environment. You probably want to be bringing them players in over across two windows with the likes of Waghorn and whoever was still there. You know, there was a lot that went against Paul Hurst, some of his own doing, some out of his control. But yeah, I have to thank him for Nolan and Enciala, and thank you, Shrewsbury. We'll keep them as long as possible. But yeah, you know, it's put us in good stead for this season, and I think we're in a great position to bounce back.
Let's just say they're lucky that they're not playing Saturday, because God knows what they'd do to that Shrewsbury team. Yeah,
no, you're right. And you know, I'm praying for John Nolan to come back anytime soon, because I just absolutely love the bloke. The first time I saw him touch a ball, I thought we've got an absolute baller here. And Enciala took a while to come in. Toto's actually, you know, he's a cult hero for Ipswich, but for all the wrong reasons, I'd probably say. Not on the pitch, but you know, last 4 or 5 games last season was looking absolutely brilliant, and definitely looked like a certain starter this year. The reason he's out injured is because he actually put himself into the action in Germany when he shouldn't have. He was actually bearing an injury at the time, and he said he was fit enough to go out, and that's what's cost him. But he obviously wanted to play football, and you can't argue with that. But more on Shrewsbury anyway. Let's get off Enciala, because we could be talking all night if we were talking about that legend.
Great man.
What we do need to concentrate on is Shrewsbury are one of those teams that have got some very, very decent players. Just one of my, you know, a few of my head. They've got God, mine's gone blank now. Omar Beckles. They've got Edwards, who used to play for Wolves.
Dave Edwards.
Dave Edwards in midfield. Steve Morrison up front. They've got Sean Goss from Manchester United on loan.
Yeah.
They've got Whaley as well on the wing, who's quite a good player. They are, in my opinion, a team that's going to be looking to push on for, playoffs this season.
The thing is, they've had a good start. They've got 8 points out of 5.
Yeah, they lost their first game, but the last 3 they've been unbeaten. Two ball draws, 0-0s, but one win against Accrington.
Then again, you've got to look at games like this. We've got to win them.
Yes,
we have to beat teams like Shrewsbury at home. Have to.
Yeah,
there's no excuses.
They're a banana skin, in waiting. Really, there's teams like we saw with Sunderland, where those 19 draws racked up. It is a Shrewsbury.
It's those teams, those class B. Right, let's just put a tiering system in here. Right, so class A teams that we need to get results against. Yeah. Sunderland, Portsmouth. Right, watch out for that ball. Underneath them, you've got the class B sides, and that's anyone who can put in a performance. Right, you've got 10, 11 teams in that pyramid there. Probably even more. And then underneath there, you've got the class C, the ones that can show up now and again. And Wimbledon were one of those sides at the weekend. We've got to make sure that we get results against these teams, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. It's as much as we're being very confident and we're all loving, our sort of overconfidence of we're going to storm in this league. It's backing it up, and you've got to beat the other 23 teams that are in the league. Mm-hmm. We've done that with 3 of them so far. Yeah. We've just got to do it against the rest of them now, and not. There's going to be games where we're going to go, Christ, we should have won that game. It's just important not to lose them. Yeah. But at home, we've got to be winning at least 90% of those games.
We have 100%. It's important that we finish August on a high. Get that last result, a win. We need a win, another win. We've won our last 2 league games. Let's make it a third. There's another ball. There's some dodgy kicking going on there, so I thought I was going to take out the stand there, and then it would have been the end. What I'm saying is we need to make sure we get these results. Finish August on a high, then we've got potentially 2 weeks off, because Rochdale game is increasingly looking like it's going to be off.
Game before that.
Yeah, but
I know what
I'm not saying that we're going to put out a lesser side, but we probably will. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that we could take our foot off the proverbial gas just a bit for that game, couldn't we?
It's all about building momentum.
Yeah.
Especially when you want to go for promotion, it's about building momentum, getting those 6-7 wins on the trot consecutive times in a season, over and over again. Yeah.
It's just a bit. We were talking about away travel and how many fans we take to away games. 790 is probably the least we take away this season. Yeah. I'd probably say. Yeah. Shrewsbury has sold 340 tickets. You got any comments about that? I thought they were one of the biggest sides in the league.
It just speaks volumes. We're massive, aren't we? Clearly, we're just gonna. That's what annoyed me. I said to the guys who we went up with on Saturday, it's going to look so bad at the end of the season where we've sold out every other allocation, whether that's over 1,000 or under 1,000. I'm confident we're going to sell out every allocation. Yeah. That's 760. Ed Sheeran. That was the problem. It's just going to look, kind of tarnish that reputation, really.
Yeah. It speaks volumes what we're competing against as well, doesn't it? Sides with the fan base as they against, obviously us having a fan base what they dream of.
We're vastly overestimating the amount of fans in this league. We really are. We're playing against teams. Like Burton shocked me. I didn't realise how small Burton was. I've never been there before. I know you have, but I've never been there. I'd never been there before. And when we got there, they only had 4,000, and that was a real eye opener. And you go against a team, Wimbledon for they're talking about building a 10,000, 12,000 seater, and they're having fans pay for it. Do you know what I mean? They can't.
I think Wimbledon, go on Wimbledon, I think they've got the fan base for it though.
Yeah, they've got a huge fan base.
I literally think they sell out most of it. I know they're only playing a 5,000-6,000 capacity stadium, but they generally do sell most of that out half the time. So I can see why they want to move on the bigger grounds.
But they're a club. They're a testament. A club who are run on fan power. They are running themselves.
If Bolton and Bury go down, they've got to look at the likes of, obviously Aldershot, who've come back. Wimbledon is the main one.
Accrington, I'd say.
Accrington's the main one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And basically, it's building yourself from the bottom, working your way up. It might take 20, 30 years, but what a journey that's going to be.
Yeah. If you want to tell you what, if you're a kid now, the next 30 years of your life supporting your club, you know, if that does reignite, if it does, you know, it'll be like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
Yeah, and you say you were there.
And you were there.
To see it, yeah.
And I, just like we were last season, we were there, and now we're benefiting from this season.
The best time to support your club is at its lowest, because you know it can only get better. You know, last season, for an Ipswich Town fan, you know, we're in a quite luxury position.
Yeah.
That's probably the lowest a lot of our fans have been.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will turn their back on the club and go away from it.
Yeah.
If you stick with the club, good times will come back.
Yeah.
And I'm confident this is what we're seeing this season, and we've seen it already. You know, we're having a whale of a time every Saturday, aren't we, boys? So exactly, you know, it's you know, I don't want to see them go out. Maybe it is for the better if they do have a fresh start, but just don't let your club die. As much as that is going to die as a name, as Bolton Wanderers FC or Bury FC, just don't let them die. You know, you can carry on your club's legacy and carry it through.
Yeah. That one person means, that one fan means tenfold to what any owner will mean to that club in the long term. Yeah. So anyway, we'll leave it there, boys. We don't know what's going to happen. Obviously it's Tuesday night tonight. This will premiere tomorrow on Wednesday. But we have been here to join tonight by Ipswich women's team, who have got a game at the weekend against Kent Football Club on Sunday. But the big one is next Wednesday. And I want to see as many of you down there as possible. All the details are below. But just to plug it quickly, Wednesday night, Wednesday the 4th of September, 7:45 kickoff. Obviously the Town are playing on a Tuesday night, aren't they, next week? 3rd. So they'll be playing on Wednesday, you know, women are playing on the 4th as well. So
be top of another league.
A lot of football next week.
We're all going to be there. You know, come and say hi to us as well.
If you want pictures with Mark and Whitby, they do charge £5 a head. But if you want one with me, it's for free.
I'd charge an extra £5 for my top has to come off for the photo as well.
Yeah, a lot of the mums will be on that one. But until next time, you know, we've got a big game on Saturday. Let's hope we get the result. But until then, come on you Blues.